Greetings. Today we're going to be talking about the value of medical laboratory tests. Everyone knows who doctors are. They're the people that help us feel better when we're sick. But did you know that doctors have partners who help them deliver the best care to patients? One of these partners are a group of people called medical laboratory scientists and technicians. So what do? These are the people who work behind the scenes under the protection of lab coats and latex gloves as they perform medical laboratory tests on patient samples, right? So, what does this really mean? So much information, right? So, let me try to break it down for you. So, our bodies are very good communicators. Whenever there's something wrong, our bodies speak out. They form signs and symptoms which can be physical, like coughing or bleeding. But our bodies also speak chemically through substances found in our bodies called biomarkers. So, biomarkers basically show us what's going on in our body, right? So every disease has a biomarker, right? But the only difference is biomarkers can be qualitative or quantitative. So what does that mean? For example, if we want to know if someone has HIV, we look at the antibodies that are produced in response to HIV, right? So this is the qualitative measure of biomarkers, right? Where we are looking at whether that person has certain antibodies or not. So it's either a yes or no, it's either a positive or negative. So, yeah, diagnosis of many diseases is qualitative, but diagnosis can also be quantitative, where we're not just looking at the presence of a certain biomarker, but we're looking at the quantity of that biomarker. For example, diabetes, right? Everyone has the biomarker glucose in their bodies, right? Because we take in glucose and we need glucose to live. But glucose is supposed to exist in certain levels in our body. There's a reference range for glucose in our bodies. So if glucose is above or below that reference range, that's when we know that something is wrong. So this is the quantitative measuring of biomarkers. So biomarkers are the substances that tell us what's going on in our bodies. So medical laboratory scientists or medical laboratory science rather is about determining the presence or absence of biomarkers and making the connections necessary to diagnose, screen, and prognose diseases. This means that medical laboratory tests are valuable since they promote health awareness. And health awareness is important for the following reasons, right? So I'm going to mention the three pillars of medical laboratory testing and how they are valuable or important. One, screening. Screening points out areas in your health that need immediate attention, helping you to take the necessary steps towards getting the right treatment. If sick, it confirms the type of treatment that you're supposed to receive, but if healthy, it confirms that you're living a healthy lifestyle. So that's the importance of screening for diseases. Diagnosis number two. Lab tests give you closure. Lab tests give you the answers you might be searching for that may explain some odd activities you've noticed happening in your body. For example, if you're feeling pain in an area in your body, diagnosis helps you to figure out what exactly is going on, because pain is just an indication of something deeper that's going on in your body. Number three, prognosis. Prognosis is more about reassurance. Lab tests show you how your body is performing over time, verifying whether the care that you're receiving is working or not. For example, if you've been diagnosed with a certain condition, right, and you're taking treatment, prognosis is about determining whether how well you're responding to that treatment. So treatment may come in doses. So if we see that a patient is responding well to treatment, then we'll continue with that dose and that treatment. But if we see that the patient is not responding to the treatment that they're being given, we will then readjust the dose or treatment. So these are the three values or three important factors of medical laboratory tests. So to do medical laboratory tests, patients must provide a sample or specimen in the form of blood, urine, stool, and basically all body fluids. So these samples are analyzed with the necessary skill and the right equipment under the right conditions to produce results which are then interpreted and sent to doctors who will then use them to provide the best possible care to patients. So another issue is about the sample type. Different samples are used to diagnose different diseases. For example, if we want to diagnose TB, we need the sputum. Why? Because sputum is the body fluid that is associated to the part of the body that we're suspecting to be infected, right? We cannot test for TB in the blood because TB has nothing to do with the blood. TB has more to do with the lungs. So we analyze the sputum. So the sample type, that's how the sample type is relevant. And also for cholera, we cannot test for cholera in the blood. I mean, we can, but it's more ideal, it's better or more accurate to test for cholera using stool samples, right? The feces that you produce, because because that's the sample that is coming from the area that is suspected to be infected, So that's how the sample type is relevant. The right test has to be done on the right sample type under the right conditions, because these body fluids are very sensitive. So factors such as temperatures and humidity should be considered. That's why the storage and transportation of these specimens is important. So that's just a basic breakdown of medical laboratory testing and how it is important. Please excuse me for the noises that you might have heard in the background. We do not have a studio yet, but we are working on it. We're working on providing the best possible quality of content. But right now we're just improvising since we're at the beginning stages. But I promise you, okay, you should never make promises, but I assure you that we will do the best we can to provide better quality content, right? Thank you. Share and subscribe if you appreciate the information that you've just received. Thank you.